Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And, oh boy, I've been waiting to do this rant video for a while. Ever since the news came out that Mike McCarthy is going to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But the rant part is not going to be towards Mike McCarthy, which probably will surprise most people here on YouTube. The rant is going to be towards the Steeler fans. The nutcase Steeler fans, not the actual good ones that actually understand the business of this. No, I'm going to be talking directly to the insane Steeler fans that have panned this hire. Hi, Steeler fans. Hi, you nutcase ones out there. How's it feel? How's it feel? Now, I had told everybody that Mike McCarthy was going to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I said it was going to be either him or Brian Flores. I originally did think that they were going to go for defense and was going to be going for someone young because that's what they normally did. But as the coaching process came along, it became very clear that they were going to go with Mike McCarthy, as there was reports coming out that they were really interested in wanting to get Aaron Rodgers back. Even though Art Rooney II said in the press conference, when he did say he wanted to bring Mike Tomlin back for another year, he had said that he wanted to run it back with Mike Tomlin, that probably Aaron Rodgers wouldn't come back because Mike Tomlin wasn't coming back. That didn't mean that he actually didn't want Aaron Rodgers to come back. He never said this. See, this is something, because I've seen so many people on YouTube. I've seen so many insane, delusional Steeler YouTubers saying that Mike Tomlin was fired, that they didn't want Aaron Rodgers back, that they were going to go for Chris Shula, that they believed that they were secretly going to go for Chris Shula, and all these interviews that they were doing in person were all fake interviews, and that in reality that they were going to wait for Chris Shula to be eliminated in the playoffs because, the Rams were in the playoffs, which I knew was wrong, and I even said that here on YouTube. Like, I was telling people this in my Discord server, that these people are stupid and they don't understand the business. And the moment I started seeing Tom and Eisen, all these other prominent, football analysts, start really, talking about Mike McCarthy, I knew they were going with Mike McCarthy. I knew it because you're not seriously putting candidates out there in interviews if you're not seriously going to consider hiring them. All right. I knew they were not waiting for Chris Shula. And honestly, quite frankly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't understand why so many people are obsessed with Chris Shula. Why? Because he's on the Rams? Big fucking deal, dude. Okay, he had a great season as a defensive coordinator. That doesn't mean shit. All right, there are people that become defensive coordinators, become head coaches that don't turn out to be good. And people are bringing up, well, he's the grandson of the legendary Don Shula. I'm not taking anything away from Don Shula. You want to know who else was related to Don Shula that was a head coach in this league? His son. And you want to know what happened to Don Shula's son? He sucked as a head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals and was fired within 3 years. But of course, the media and the Steeler fans, these obscene, delusional Steeler fans, will never tell you that. Newsflash, guys, this is a reality check. Just because he's related to Don Shula does not mean he's going to be a great head coach. Okay? Get that delusional ideology thinking out of your head. I remember one of the NFL Network top 10s, they talked about how, a lot of people thought that Don Shula's son, should have been who the Steelers went for over Bill Cowher. And that ended up being incorrect. And they went with Bill Cowher, and Bill Cowher ended up being the right decision. The Bengals ended up being the laughingstock of the league for the next decade because of that hire, by the way. So this whole idea, this whole obsession with Chris Shula just really annoyed me because the Steeler fans don't even know their own history. I'm a Packers fan, and I know your history better than you guys do. Most of these YouTubers, not all of them, but most of them that were having these delusional takes, all right, and that they were going to leave the fandom if they hired Mike McCarthy. That's right, I capped that YouTuber. I commented on his YouTube page after that hire happened. I was like, hey, why aren't you leaving now? Has nothing to say. You know who you are, by the way. But no, in all seriousness, I'm very happy for Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is a very good coach, a Super Bowl champion. Also, by the way, we need to clear up the record here, too. He was not fired from the Dallas Cowboys, okay? His contract expired last year, and he didn't renew with them and took a year off, okay? So let's cut the horse shit right now. He was fired once, and that was during the midseason with the Green Bay Packers, with my Green Bay Packers, obviously, as we know. Also, I would like to also state, anybody that's reporting that Mike Tomlin was fired, shut the fuck up and retract your statement because he was not fired. Art Rooney II said, and Mike Tomlin said that he was retiring. Okay, or at least was stepping down. You know, the Steelers still own his rights because they didn't fire him. They wanted him to come back for another year. That's facts. They publicly said it, that they wanted Mike Tomlin back, and I believe them. They wanted Tomlin back. Tomlin is a great coach. We've made 3 videos covering Mike Tomlin. All right, I would love for him to be. I would have loved for them to have hired. I would have loved them to hire Mike Tomlin and get rid of Matt LaFleur. Like I'm sick of Matt LaFleur. Okay, he's a choke artist in the playoffs. Okay, Sean McDermott. Fuck yeah, I would fucking take any of these guys. All right, I don't want this freaking like this choke artist. And the people are saying, "Oh, Mike Tomlin, you know, he's doing horrible in the playoffs." Yada yada yada. My guy, Mike Tomlin doesn't control the roster. Omar, the GM, is the one who assembled the roster. And guess what? That's the reason why the Steelers aren't winning in the playoffs. Mike Tomlin is winning with mediocre talent in spite of it. Okay? That makes, and I said this already in my last time addressing Mike Tomlin, that makes Mike Tomlin even a greater head coach. The fact that he is able to make a team better than they should be. Nobody is ever going to not have a losing season ever. Mike Tomlin's the only person that can say that he ever had a winning season. No one will ever be able to say that. No one. No one will ever say that. Sean McVay will never be able to say that. None of these current coaches will be able to. There's always been a head coach that has a losing season. Not Mike Tomlin. Mike T never has. Okay, and never will. Unless, of course, he decides to come back to coaching and coaches another team, and then we'll see what happens. But otherwise, he's never had that. That's a great accomplishment. And I don't think he will, even if he does ever come back next year. If he comes back next year or the year after that, I do think he will. You know, I don't know if he will be back in coaching. Bill Cowher didn't come back after he retired. Obviously, Mike Tomlin's a different person, but I don't know. He's only 53 years old, too. He's pretty young still. So he could definitely come back for sure. He's younger than Mike McCarthy, who's 62. But I think Mike T's coming back at some point. And also, Steeler fans are mad that the Steelers are going to be rebuilt or not going to try to do a rebuild. And to that I say, why? Why would you want the Steelers to rebuild? I don't understand this lot. I like the mentality of, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to win. Like, why would you want to intentionally lose? Like this, I know this whole tanking thing comes out every year when a team sucks and they're out of the playoffs. They're like, oh, let's just tank the rest of the season. Let's just lose the rest of the games. Let's just lose the rest of the games, ladies and gentlemen. So we can get the best pick. And that is such a loser's fucking mentality. I commend the Steelers organization for not wanting to do that. And also, it's not like they didn't try to get a franchise quarterback. They traded up for Kenny Pickens, and obviously that didn't work out. And that's the thing. Even though they have a high draft pick, it's not like they can't trade down to get a quarterback. Or trade up to get a quarterback. Okay? If they really wanted a quarterback. Okay? Or franchise, or want to try to target a franchise quarterback. You don't have to do that. You don't have to fucking have a losing season to get a new quarterback, okay? Or draft a new quarterback. This is what I think is just so ideologically stupid right now. Again, Steelers are one of the fewest franchises, that it's a family-run business. Obviously, my team is owned by the city, but still not by a billionaire overlord. Steelers, obviously, by default, they're billion-dollar corporation now, I would imagine, since, the team's worth over $1 billion. And it's one of the most stable franchises, so I'm sure it's even worth more than most of the other teams are, right, at value. They're not selling the team, okay? They are not selling the team. It is a family-run team. They're not going anywhere. All right, so get that out of your fantasy world, okay? But I do want to bring something up because I just want to compare. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to bring this up right now because I want to show something right now. Nope, that's not it. I would like to show. Oh, wait, hold on. I would like to show. Do we have it up? All right, I want to show this. I want to show. All right, so this is Sean Payton's bio page, okay, right? I just want to show this right now. So you see all this. This is a head coaching record from the New Orleans Saints to, obviously, right now he coaches the Broncos, right? So in total, I'm going with the total amount here, okay, of wins he's had for the Saints and the Broncos. He has a total of 184 wins and 108 losses, okay? Now, he has one Super Bowl, obviously. Now, of course, he just recently lost a championship game. Not going to get into that, obviously, right now, because that's irrelevant to my point here. Point being is he's a highly respected coach with one Super Bowl, right? Even though, kind of a little tainted with that bounty scandal, but I digress. Let's look at Mike McCarthy's record, right? 174 wins, 112 losses. One Super Bowl, just like Sean Payton. Okay. Why do I bring this up? Pretty much, Mike McCarthy has the same amount of success as Sean Payton. And the only reason why Sean Payton has 10 more wins than Mike McCarthy is because he took 2 seasons off. He took the season off following being fired from the Green Bay Packers, and then he took a season off after he left the Dallas Cowboys after his contract expired. Okay? So, yeah. That's pretty much the only reason why he is under 10 wins of Sean Payton. All right. Now, if we look at Mike McCarthy's coaching thing, he's had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 division championships. Obviously, when he won the Super Bowl, he didn't even win the division, but he won the Super Bowl, so that doesn't that makes it even better, you know. When he won the Super Bowl, he didn't even win the division. So, won a Super Bowl without winning the division, but still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 division championships, Super Bowl title when he didn't even win the division. All right. So my point being is, we look at Sean Payton, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Same amount, pretty much same amount of division. Pretty much same amount of divisions. Right? So why in the flying frig are we trying to say that Mike McCarthy isn't a good coach? Like, seriously, what the hell has Mike McCarthy done? And again, this comes probably more from the Steeler fans, but I've even seen people outside of Steeler fans like try to say that Mike McCarthy isn't a good coach or anything like that. Dude has pretty much the identical record as Sean Payton. Okay? Division success, Super Bowl success, only 10 wins below him, and that's because he took 2 years off from being a head coach, from, you know, in between of leaving as a head coach for one team and going to another. He didn't coach last year. He didn't coach the year after he was fired from the Packers. Okay. So, he has the same amount of resume. But you're trying to pull this bullshit that, oh, he's not that good of a coach. Fuck you. I just debunked that shit. He is a damn good head coach. The Steelers should be happy to have somebody like him. Someone that can try to develop a quarterback, which they desperately need. You tried Kenny Pickett, didn't work. You've tried a couple different quarterbacks. Now, they do have a young second-year quarterback who was a third-string quarterback last year that they could develop. He was a 6th-round pick, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if exactly he's a starter. I think they're going to re-sign Aaron. I don't know what Aaron's current relationship with Mike McCarthy is. Obviously, we went through a bad breakup, Green Bay perspective here, with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers. He was fired like an hour after the Cardinals' loss back in like 2018. So it has been a while. But I don't think Aaron and Mike, had bad terms. I don't think they've ever said any ill will towards one another. So I just think it's kind of incredibly stupid to think that they won't re-sign Aaron. Obviously, they could go different free agents. Malik Willis, obviously, is going to be a hot free agent. A very good backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers the past couple of years. But I do think they're going to re-sign Aaron to another year contract. The Steelers have been publicly open throughout the entire last season that they want to keep Aaron, that they're open to bringing him back if he wants to come back. That hasn't changed. It's just that obviously Aaron wanted to be coached by Mike Tomlin. And that's why Art Rooney II said in the press conference that Aaron might not come back because obviously he wanted to come back for Mike Tomlin. But again, I don't think that he isn't not open to come back if it's Mike McCarthy, because I don't think he was on bad terms with Mike McCarthy. All right. I don't. Obviously it was a bad breakup because it was a bad season. Not necessarily that they don't like each other. I mean, hell, we just seen Aaron Rodgers publicly defend Matt LaFleur as well as Mike Tomlin in his press conference following the loss to the Texans. And Matt LaFleur is literally not even his coach anymore. Okay? But yet he still had respect enough for him to say that he doesn't think he should be fired. Now, that being said, I don't agree with Aaron on that. I do think he should be fired because of, the choke artists in the playoffs games that he had. But, that's my take on it. But, I mean, my point being with Aaron is Aaron, I think, will be playing again this year. And I think he's going to be a Steeler because I don't know what other team he would want to go to. He's not going to the Vikings. Okay. The Vikings are committed to the quarterback that they have. So I don't believe he's going there. I hope he doesn't, but I mean, I don't think he is. Aaron's going where he wants to go. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point in Aaron Rodgers' career, he's just going to go where he's most comfortable going. He's not going to go, where, just to stick it to another team or whatever. He doesn't have that mindset. He just wants to go right fit, right, where, he can try to win it. And he can still play. I mean, Aaron can still throw that damn ball. He can. I mean, he didn't really have that many targets. He had DK Metcalf, and that was it. We saw, in the 2 games that he wasn't available, he wasn't as effective. I mean, he did the best he could, and they were able to win that Ravens game. But you seen it with the Cleveland game. Give him more targets. I mean, Aaron's going to still be Aaron. I guarantee you if they gave him freaking, which that's the one thing the Steelers made a big mistake on last year in the offseason is not signing Davante Adams, and allowing him to go to the Rams. That's who the Steelers should have targeted. They should have targeted Davante Adams, because if they would have signed Davante Adams and he goes to Pittsburgh with Aaron, guarantee you that would have been a better connection. That would have been a better connection because they have chemistry with one another. Even when they played briefly with each other for the Jets, you could see that there was chemistry there. It's just the Jets just have a bad fucking team. But getting to Mike McCarthy, yes, I absolutely love this hire. And I think, well, obviously, it's the first time in a long time that a head coach has an offense. It's been a long time since the Steelers hired an offensive-minded head coach. And I can't even name who the last one was, because I don't know who the head coaches were before Chuck Noll. So there you go. Obviously, there were coaches before Chuck Noll, but nobody remembers him for the Steelers. But yeah, it does break tradition. But again, with the way the league is now, they have to develop quarterback, and that's the problem. That's the biggest problem. If you can develop a quarterback, then everything is all good. And again, people that are all mad at, oh, this is just basically Mike Tomlin 2.0. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Mike McCarthy is a great coach, and you're all gonna fucking see it. You're gonna have all the stupid 9-8, 10-7, yada 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 bullshit. So if he wins you 12 games, then is it gonna still be running it back? No, it's just a stupid narrative. But I'm happy for Mike McCarthy. Hopefully he has some good success. Just to shut up these stupid idiots once and for all. And yeah, that's what I gotta say. I'm out. Comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for latest content. Thank you. And that's about it, guys. I am the Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, to follow me on the Twitch, the Instagram, and I do have a Discord link in the description where we discuss various topics, including this one here. And now I'm out. Peace.